as you can see, we are basically here at the University of Chicago campus, which is a campus in collaboration with the HKU. And basically on the background, you have like llama. Oh, yeah, llama is there. As you can see, the location is very beautiful. Yeah. But also, unfortunately, what we were saying before is also that this is also, let's say, a dark part of the colonialism. Yeah. It's downstairs, so you can see the battery there, and then yeah, inside you basically see all the cells and prisons.
So here we are at the site of a prison back from the colonial days. Actually, political dissidents from the 6/7 riots were jailed here, including a former government minister, Zhang Daxing. He had been jailed here for 2 years simply because he distributed political leaflets back in the 6/7 riots. So I think this obviously reflects the double standards that the UK has, especially in relation to national security.
They do prosecute people that have different political view, and for sure they put in the jail. We have, I can say, witness. There are historical evidence about these kind of things. What we're not really sure about, if they torture them, most probably yes. So we can say that definitely there is a double standard. Colonial police was allowed to do certain kind of things, but this kind of action is not allowed to do to the China. So also the position was the Navy defense of Hong Kong. Hong Kong has several batteries, large caliber battery to defend from any invasion. But Japanese basically they invade Hong Kong from the north, from the land.
I think this reminds us that the Japanese invasion was a terrible part of Hong Kong's history, but sadly, I think there is no outrage or unhappiness or discontent coming from the Hong Kong young people. For example, during anniversaries of Black Christmas, which was the day on which the Hong Kong governor back then, Governor Young, surrendered to the Japanese army. And also, we don't see any outrage during the anniversary of the Nanking massacre, which obviously took the lives of more than 300,000 of our Chinese compatriots. But at the same time, Hong Kong youngsters, they have a tendency to embrace Japanese culture and think that the Japanese people are somehow morally superior to the Chinese or something. But I think they lack the very basic understanding of Hong Kong's history in this regard. But on the flip side, they have so many prejudices and assumptions about the mainland, and they don't understand the good about Chinese history, and they simply focus on the bad. So I think we all should look at history in a holistic way.
We do need to commend all the, not just British, but all soldiers that fought for Hong Kong against the Japanese, alright? And here, as you can see, it's quite old. It's used during World War II as a fort. And I think many people nowadays, they do have this sort of mindset that Japan is superior, but they completely forget the 3 years and 8 months that Hong Kong people, like our grandfathers, have suffered under Japanese invasion. And I've personally actually been to the Nanking Massacre Museum in Nanjing, and it's very sad. Like afterwards, I kind of cried because it's it disturbs me to see people of the same ethnicity being tortured, being killed, being raped by a foreign country. All right, and that hurts. So I hope people nowadays can understand and learn from this history, be reminded of what these countries have done to us. All right, obviously, as I've said before, if they are prepared to say sorry, we're always ready to forgive them, but we should never forget what they've done to us.
Right.
So what do you think about this, Stefano?
Yeah, actually, also I didn't know about this place because I think that it's also very unreported.
Yeah.
Because like you don't really see people, other, especially youngsters, talk about this place.
Yeah.
And also I feel very surprised. I mean, I was like, wow, I got shocked when I saw this place. Also because like this was not only the battery, but there is also a part that, if I'm not wrong, used to be a prison, right?
Yes.
Where basically, the British were torturing like people who were accused to be like close to the Communist Party, so a lot of Chinese people.
Sometimes especially the heritage department of Hong Kong government is not very efficient, and they didn't do a good job in terms of promotion, I think.
Also, since this place is part of a very, dark period of the colonialism, I don't know, maybe it's also why it's a little bit unreported, a lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah, I think it's probably, I won't say intentionally, but at least there's some sort of motive behind not letting people know the full story. So it kind of portrays that colonialism as this perfect picture.
Right.
When it's not really.
Also, this is a good way to educate, or also to teach like the Hong Kong youngsters about like this dark period of like the Hong Kong history, and especially colonialism. Because they always think that it's such a great page, it's such a great thing, but then also there is the dark side.
And also, one thing I wanted to point out, that I think I agree that we should commend the Canadian and Indian soldiers who died defending Hong Kong, but we should never forget that Winston Churchill decided to give Hong Kong up basically to the Japanese and defend Singapore instead, because he felt that Hong Kong was not strategically as important as Singapore. So it's not as if the UK would stand in and defend Hong Kong, especially not now, if not back then. And also, Winston Churchill declined Chiang Kai-shek's offer to send the Kuomintang army into Hong Kong to help protect us. So I think we should never fantasize that the UK are somehow benevolent masters of the Hong Kong people.
Correct. They have no moral or legal duty to come in,
and they
liberate
have
and
no
save
intention
us.
whatsoever.
That's right. So. They have shown that in the past. They basically abandoned us for our own safeguards, and we've fallen to Japanese, basically.
Exactly.